What if the very words you share with your family, after 70 words spoken with love, honesty, and good intentions, are quietly taking away your peace, your authority, and your dignity without you ever noticing? This question may feel uncomfortable, even surprising, but it touches a deep truth about aging that very few people openly discuss. Because after 70, life is no longer about proving anything, explaining everything, or justifying your choices. It becomes about protecting your inner calm, preserving self-respect, and living with quiet strength. Yet many older adults continue to share too much with family, simply out of habit, emotional closeness, or the belief that transparency always builds trust, when in reality, excessive sharing at this stage of life can slowly shift family dynamics in ways that reduce independence and create emotional strain. And one of the most important things to understand is that privacy is not distance. It is wisdom, because the first area where oversharing often causes harm is finances. As once children or relatives know every detail about your income, savings, property, or inheritance plans, your money stops being just your security and starts becoming a subject of opinions, advice, expectations, and sometimes subtle pressure, where concern turns into control and suggestions begin to feel like decisions made on your behalf, which can quietly reduce your authority over your own life, even if no one intends harm. Because money changes behavior, perceptions, and power. And keeping financial matters private is not about mistrust, but about maintaining balance and self-respect. Just as important is the habit of sharing every health issue, pain, diagnosis, or fear, because while occasional updates are natural, constant detailed discussions about your body can lead family members to see you primarily as fragile or declining, rather than capable and whole, which can result in overprotection, loss of independence, and decisions being made without your full involvement, slowly reshaping your identity from a respected elder into someone perceived as vulnerable and dependent, even when you are still strong and mentally sharp. And equally damaging is the tendency to repeatedly share regrets, guilt, or past mistakes, especially related to parenting, finances, or relationships, because while reflection is healthy, reopening old chapters in front of family can unintentionally invite judgment, blame, or emotional leverage, allowing others to define your legacy through moments of regret rather than decades of effort, love, and resilience. And after 70, your past deserves dignity, not repeated explanation. Another sensitive area is sharing strong opinions about family conflicts, marriages, parenting styles, or modern lifestyles, because even well-meaning advice can be received as criticism, creating distance and labeling you as negative or out of touch, when in reality, silence often preserves harmony far better than honesty, especially when opinions are unlikely to change outcomes. And then there is the most personal and emotionally charged form of oversharing, expressing deep fears about aging, death, loneliness, or becoming a burden, because although these fears are deeply human, sharing them too freely can plant anxiety, guilt, or excessive worry in family members, leading them to treat you with pity instead of respect, or to impose control disguised as care, which can weaken both your emotional strength and your sense of autonomy. And the truth is that after 70, dignity is not about isolation or emotional coldness. It is about discernment, knowing what to share, when to share, and with whom, because wisdom at this stage of life is calm, selective, and intentional. It understands that not every feeling needs an audience, not every thought needs validation, and not every truth needs to be spoken to be real. And choosing silence at times is not weakness, it is emotional maturity. This approach does not mean shutting family out or becoming distant. It means protecting your inner world so love can exist without pressure, connection without control, and respect without dependency. because oversharing often comes from a place of love. But the consequences can be subtle, cumulative, and deeply personal, slowly eroding independence and peace. And if peace is your goal, you must guard your emotional boundaries. If dignity matters to you, you must own your narrative. And if independence is important, you must stop giving others unnecessary access to your private world. So the suggestion is gentle yet powerful after 70. Share selectively. Speak intentionally. Protect your privacy. Choose calm over conflict. Choose wisdom over explanation. Focus conversations on the present rather than the past. Express needs clearly without oversharing fears. Write your thoughts instead of saying them impulsively. Seek professional or neutral support when emotions feel heavy. Invest energy in what brings you joy now. And remember that your worth is not measured by how much you reveal, but by the life you have lived, the lessons you carry, and the peace you choose to protect every single day.